Hi Cancerians, welcome to your reading for the last few weeks of July going into the beginning of August. In front of us we've got some of the decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. We're going to start off with a message from the Beautiful Creatures deck. It is actually a tarot deck, but a lot of the time I tend to use it as an oracle deck, so that's what I'm going to be doing with it today. So what do we need to know for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising for the end of July going into the beginning of August? Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. Okay, you have the habit dependency, which I believe is in traditional tarot that would be the Devil card. Because I'm using it as an oracle deck though, I will take it a little bit more literally to their interpretation. It's a really, it is quite an intense looking card, isn't it? But let's see what tarot cards come up with this as well. So let's get your tarot spread out first of all, or second of all. So again, for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising, what else do we need to know? Okay, I thought something with, I'll show it to you. It did, you know, one of those weird double flips where it flips and then flips back the correct way, back into the deck. So it's the Death card. So, I mean, I would say there's probably something that needs to be released here. As I say, it's the habit dependency, what needs to be released. And again, we have that moon. And to be honest, I'm trying to get these videos done. I try to get them done before the full moon, but it doesn't always happen. So I don't know if you'll see this before the full moon in Capricorn on Sunday, the 21st of July. But I know it was in the Virgo and the Capricorn readings in particular, the moon was quite significant, like it came out in the cards and intuitively as well, that it might be quite a significant full moon for them. You've got the full moon here for yourselves. Obviously full moons are typically associated with release, and Cancer is the opposite or counterpart, however you want to put it, to Capricorn in astrology. So you may feel this full moon particularly as well, and as I say, release seems to be coming up, but I'll put that back in because, as I say, it double flipped. And what's on the bottom of the deck? The moon. This is what happened in Virgo's reading. Was it Virgo or Capricorn? Whichever one it was. I got an intuitive feeling that it was the full moon was going to be relevant. And then when I turned the deck over, it was like that. And then when I turned it over to look at the bottom, it had the moon on there as well. So yeah, let's see what else comes out. Or what actually comes out, because that wasn't one that we were keeping. So what does Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising need to know? So you've got quite a few here. Okay, I'll take these two together. They were in my hand, like they stayed in my hands upright. So the Five of Pentacles and Nine of Swords. I mean, a theme of rejection has been coming up quite a bit actually. Again, I think it was definitely in the Capricorn reading, and another, it may have been Virgo, could have been a different one, but it wasn't the Capricorn being rejected, it was them rejecting something else. So we'll see how it plays out for you. But you've got Five of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. Could it be rejecting or letting go of anxiety? That is one thing that would come to mind with the Nine of Swords being there, or stress. Right, okay, we'll take this one. There's two that kind of fell. This one fell upright facing me, the Seven of Swords. And interestingly, obviously the moon, with it being on the bottom of the deck, it's things that are hidden, isn't it? So is there something that you need to let go of? That you're, I don't know, a bit resistant to, or you haven't acknowledged, or you're trying to avoid it, possibly. I'll look at the card. So I'm not going to take this one because it was on the floor. It was like that. But it's the Strength card. So to me, that's kind of having the courage and the will to let go of something. What else do we need to know for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising? You've got the Eight of Swords, and I feel like it's meant to be in reverse. So it could be to do with thought patterns for you, Cancer, or a particular thought pattern or something, because you've got a shitload of swords, I have to say. Yeah. One more. Okay, and we have more swords. Jesus. Two of swords. Yeah. I'm guessing you're probably in your head quite a lot at this point in time. You may very well be in your head quite a bit. So what is it that you have to face? What is it that you have to release? And then the two of swords as well. It can be a decision, but it can also be the two truths. You know, if you've got a habit or an addiction of some sort, the one truth can be that you want to hold on to it, and on the other hand, you know it's not necessarily good for you and you want to let it go. So yeah. I will say with that Five of Pentacles, the word overspending is coming into my mind. So for someone, maybe there's something with overspending or to do with the person's finances in general, where there's a habit that isn't working out for you, you know, bad habits, yeah, or investments that you need to let go of, something there financially that you may need to release. Okay, let's get the clarifying deck out for you as well and start to get into this a bit more deeply. Someone could actually be worrying about finances, to be honest, with that Nine of Swords and Five of Pentacles. Someone could be avoiding debt, potentially, or financial strain. Somebody could be stressed and but avoiding it at the same time. So what do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? Wow, that's interesting. On the bottom of the deck is the Six of Pentacles. So I was actually thinking, and I didn't say, if someone is stressed and worried and has financial issues, it may be that you need to ask for help from someone somehow, whether it is you need to borrow money from someone that you know, or you need to approach an organization to, I don't know, you know, like if you have to set up a payment plan or something like that, someone may need to ask for help in that way. So what else do we need to know about that Five of Pentacles? Right, so we have the Five of Cups. God, I'm getting a few intense messages. The Six of Cups and the Death card. I've just kind of had the thought of someone saying, why did I let this happen? Yeah, seeing the Five of Cups, Six of Cups and the Death card. Why did I let this happen? Okay. Anything else for that Five of Pentacles and Nine of Swords? So we have the King of Pentacles now, the Wheel of Fortune, and let's get one more. The Emperor. This would be, for me, one way of looking at this set, the sets, two sides of these cards, or the two sets. You've got that set there, that set there. It's the two truths, isn't it? Going back to the example of financial whatever issues, and obviously take it as it resonates. You know, if it's not financial, it could be some other part of your life. But on that side, we've got like the sense of regret and sorrow of how did I let this happen? And then on this side, that's where you take control back, isn't it? Because you've got the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, who I often say the King of Pentacles for me feels like the closest minor arcana card to the Emperor. Bear with me one moment. No? Okay. I've got a child and he's home. He's usually not home when I do the readings, but he's being a bit loud today. So I thought he was going to come in. Yeah, the King of Pentacles, lower minor arcana version of the Emperor, who's the major arcana version. And you've got the Wheel of Fortune there, which is a card of change, but it can also be a card that's connected to like positive change, luck, that sort of thing as well. Look at the way the King of Pentacles is looking at that wheel. Look at the way the Emperor's looking at that wheel. Like, that energy is the energy of someone that knows that they can change their fortune. So I guess it's encouraging someone. It is about some sort of release, but a need to change. I will say change the mindset is one thing, because of all the swords here. To change the mindset, like if you felt down on your luck, and I'm not saying it's imaginary, obviously, if stuff is going on in your life and it's stressful, you know, obviously you know what's going on, but it's maybe a encouragement to sort of change a person's mindset from, like, obviously if you feel regret and sorrow and everything, you got to address that and deal with that and feel that, but then allowing that to transform into feeling like, okay, I've got this, I can change my fortune, I can rebuild, I can make plans and strategize and, you know, take control. I think control is the first thing that came in actually when I got these cards. Take control and pull it back together, rather than continuing to focus on the stress and the loss and whatever. Let's look at that Seven of Swords for you. What do we need to know about that Seven of Swords for Cancerians? I don't know if someone's lost a house, to be honest, or a property or something. We've got the Page of Wands. Okay, I'll do this neatly. Been trying to go back to doing these little readings neatly. Optimism is coming to mind with that Page of Wands. But let's see what else comes out. So we've got Temperance. We have the Hierophant, we have Justice, and I'll get one more. I will get one for the Hierophant on its own, although I pretty much feel like I know what it means here. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, let me just get one for the Hierophant. Yeah, I know what that means. So yeah, it's with that Seven of Swords, it kind of feels like, it does feel like a bit of avoidance. Like, I don't know if this bad habit and the dependency here is a bit of a little bit of a pessimistic outlook in this situation, where whatever's happened, whatever the stress is connected to, it's like automatically go into the worst case scenario and think, you know, this is terrible, I don't know how to fix it, or this can't be fixed, blah blah blah, and sort of avoiding, as strange as it might sound or not, avoiding sort of embracing more of an optimistic outlook on it, you know. And I know that some things could really, I mean, I've been depressed multiple times, and you probably already know if you've seen any of the videos before, like I had a break from the channel for a couple of months because I had one of the worst phases of depression of my life. And I've had quite a few. It lasted for a good couple of months, and I literally, it was so bad I didn't think I'd get out of it. So I get that you can feel like it's that point. Maybe that is the point that someone's depressed, possibly. But yeah, it's almost like with that Seven of Swords, it's like the default setting is to go to worst case scenarios and to feel like there's no way out. But it's sort of saying what you really need to do is try and focus on having more of a positive outlook, where you know that you can transform the situation. It's a need to change those beliefs. And trust that you can turn things around and, you know, have new opportunities, resolve things, get justice if that's what's required in the situation. Make things right is something that comes to mind when justice comes up, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you snap your fingers and all of a sudden it's fixed, but to start to fix things or to put things right, it starts with having the attitude of, okay, what can I do to fix this, you know, coming up with solutions to a problem, at least being willing to even think about the solutions to a problem. But because the Seven of Swords is there, I feel like that's what's being avoided here. And obviously, you know, the full circumstances as to why that would be, like why, maybe need to ask yourself actually why, if you're in a negative sort of frame of mind about a situation, like you're already stressed, but then you still sinking into the worst case scenarios and the negativity. Why is that? You know, is it a habit? Is it a habit that you have when things go to shit? You just, everything feels shit, you know? So let's see what the Eight of Swords is. I mean, for me, that's giving kind of a similar message to this. It's like get out of your head, kind of. Get out of your head, get out of that feeling of being stuck and feeling or thinking that you can't fix it and there's no way out. And what's interesting, I've said it quite a few times with this Two of Swords, that the way I look at it sometimes is that the wolf, there can be a decision to be made or two truths, and the wolf behind is the instincts is like your intuition, your instincts, but she's not paying attention to that. She's looking at whatever, she's looking ahead. She's not paying attention to her intuition and her instincts. So is there something instinctual within you that, again, I mean, there was avoidance anyway, that you're not paying attention to? Like maybe your intuition or instincts have a solution to the problem, but because you may be sort of more struggling with stress, and sort of trapped in a worst case scenario frame of mind, that you're kind of ignoring any instinct that may be there that will tell you how to resolve the problem. So let's look at the Eight of Swords. So I'm going to try that again. That felt weird. Oh, and loads of cards came out, like 8 cards came out. So we'll try that again. Eight of Swords, please. So we've got the Ace, yeah, Ace of Cups, but it's in reverse. Something is coming to mind with seeing the Ace of Cups about love. The first thing that came in was no love lust, but it doesn't make sense. So it's either no love lust or love's lust or something. I'm not sure what that means for someone. Hopefully it makes sense to you. We've got the Ace of Wands. It might be that someone needs to apply more self-love in the situation to because that will give them the encouragement that they need to think more positively and find solutions. I don't know if somebody's experienced a divorce or a breakup of some sort. That's come into mind as well. Okay, that would explain the love lust business if for someone there is a breakup involved. And I mean, as I say, as much as you can be thinking of worst case scenarios and being in sort of more of a negative mind frame rather than an optimistic one, a pessimistic one, whatever you're going through when there's stress and whatever, it's not, the readings aren't here to say, right, snap your fingers, pull yourself together, get your shit together. It's not about that. Obviously you have to address and accept and acknowledge the negative feelings as well, but it's not helpful to stay in them, is it, long term? So why are they just flying everywhere? I'm going to try that again. Your cards are falling out so weird. Right, we've got the Four of Swords. The thought that's coming in with that is compose yourself. You need to compose yourself. So if you do feel like you need a break, you need a bit of rest to kind of gain your composure, you know, get your head together, that's a, you know, encouragement for that. It can also be that you're kind of worn out. It feels more like to compose yourself, but it could also be that you're worn out and you are just needing time to rest. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Nine of Wands there. That is a card of being worn out. And then you have the Six of Pentacles again. So is there someone that you need to ask for help, whether it is financial help, practical support, practical advice? Maybe you just need a shoulder to cry on, you know, something like that. It might be that. Whatever it takes to get you out of your head and to kind of free your mind from this thought of there's no way out, basically. It could be for someone that you might be hyper independent. You might be hyper independent because in a weird way that is a dependency, isn't it? Like you're solely dependent on yourself and you refuse to receive any help from anyone else. That is a form of dependency. It's just on yourself. Okay. But that does look like someone needs help, to be honest. Let me just get one for the Six of Pentacles. I'm curious. Let's see. Because you may be struggling. Yeah. Look what we've got. We've got the Empress, King of Swords, Six of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. So the Empress, obviously, she's very generous, very supportive, very nurturing. That's one of the types of people you would go for help from. King of Swords is the advisor, like they'll be the logician, that will give you very logical advice, ideas, plans, that sort of thing. The Six of Swords, it is a kind of moving to calmer waters. Look at the moon in there again, the full moon. This one doesn't have the two people, because usually it's someone being assisted to calmer waters, but it is, you know, bear in mind with it being next to the Six of Pentacles where it looks like someone needs help. Again, it's about assistance to get yourself to calmer waters and probably to regain your sense of stability, security, independence with that Nine of Pentacles there. Part of the stress as well could be if you're someone that bottles things up. That's a bad habit as well, isn't it? Where if you're stressed and struggling, if you bottle things up and keep it all to yourself and try to deal with it all to yourself, again, that hyper independence. There's a specific word for that, isn't there? I can't think right now. Yeah, that is a bad habit, isn't it? Anyway, let's move on to that Two of Swords. So you've got the Ten of Swords. Oh God, getting an interesting song actually. This is one of my favourite songs that I remember from my childhood. Don't Dream It's Over by, who the hell is it by now? Crowded House. Yeah, I'm giving my age away now. Don't Dream It's Over. That song's coming to mind when that Ten of Swords came out. I'm just mentally trying to think of the words in that song. It is a very sad song. Like, it's one of the songs that I know I've probably listened to when I was deeply depressed and it made me cry, but it's got a sense of hope in it as well. But anyway, right, Magician, Five of Swords, Page of Cups, High Priestess. I'm just going to get one for the High Priestess. Oh, you've got the Sun actually. Oh, okay. I'll get another one. I think the Sun goes with the High Priestess, but I'll get one more. Nine of Swords. Let's get one more. Eight of Swords. Get one more. I think I know where it's going, but... yeah, Four of Pentacles. Okay, just bear with me. As you can hear, I've got a bit of a cold and I'm congested, so I need to just have a minute. Okay. Right, so... again, that song is sticking. Don't Dream It's Over. Whatever's happened, if it hasn't already completely ended, it's about sort of finalizing that, whether it is that you have to end something, release something, you know, it's kind of like putting it to bed and gaining your power back. Both the Magician and the Five of Swords are kind of cards of power, you know, overcoming the struggle. With the Page of Cups there, for me, it's kind of don't be afraid to ask for help with that Page of Cups. That's what that is making me think of. I think that will be the key to you either listening to your intuition more and it becoming clearer. Well, either listening to it more or it becoming clearer in general, sort of kicking in more so that you can pay attention to it. The stress and the whatever the bad habit is or whatever, the negative thought pattern, that is kind of, it's a roadblock to your intuition, to helping you to come up with solutions. But as I say, you've got the Four of Pentacles there. That's where you keep everything to yourself, isn't it? It's where you hold your cards close to your chest. That's not helping. I think it does look like you need to kind of express whatever's going on to someone. So who do you trust, you know, or who can you trust to try and make sense of things? And as I say, it can be that you literally need to ask for help or advice from someone. And as I say, I think I said as well, it could just be a shoulder to sort of cry on or just to express how you feel, because there was, which I can't remember which deck it was. It could be the Lantern Oracle or something. But there was something, yeah, I think it was that one, the Lantern Oracle, where it speaks of sometimes what you need to help heal and to problem solve and resolve situations is to have someone else bear witness to whatever pain or stress or whatever it is you're going through. And that basically means to talk to them about it, to express it, to let it be known, you know, get it off your chest, to put it simply. So I think that's important here. Right, we're going to leave that and get you a final card of advice. And I, for some reason, didn't get the actual deck out of the box. I'm not sure why. Even though the book is out, the cards aren't out. So just give me a second. So we're going to get you a final message from the Sacred Power deck. You may be concerned about who you can trust as well, actually, which is understandable. In those situations, if in your personal life you're not sure who you can trust, sometimes it helps to talk to someone in a professional capacity, whether it is like a hotline or something, or some sort of walk-in advice center, something like that. Or if you can be anonymous, contact someone anonymously. That might help as well. So I'm not going to take it because it did that weird double flipping thing where it flips and then flips itself back like that. Illusion. To me, that is part of the habit, the bad habit dependency kind of energy, where it's like your mind is tricking you, isn't it? Your mind is playing mind games with you, keeping you trapped and stuck. I mean, that's a, I don't even know what this is. You can't call it a maze, but it's like there's literally no way out of that shit. So actually, we'll keep it. We'll keep that one. I'll get you another one as well. There's a need to get out of that illusion of being stuck and trapped, and obviously it's a challenge. Whatever you're going through, if it's a challenge, it's a challenge, isn't it? We can't pretend it's not a challenge, but there are ways to get past it, to get through it, to figure it out. Even if you're stuck, it's temporary. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Right, we've got one more. We have divine consciousness. That would be the intuition. So asking for help, again, it can be a person or people you're asking for help from, but you may, I keep saying it, I don't know why I keep saying it nowadays, what prayer. It may be about tapping into that sense of prayer, meditation. If you speak to guides, angels, ancestors, whoever, that sort of help might come in as well, might be useful for you. You might feel like you want to reconnect with your spirituality if you've kind of put that on the back burner because everyday life has taken over. I've just realised how long your reading is, Cancer. These readings are usually about 20 minutes long for these types of readings now, so oh well. So you've got a few, and I'm going to take all of them, to be honest. I'm not reading them from the book today. So the first one was retreat. So again, that's where you may be needing a bit of rest if you're feeling like you need to compose yourself. The next one was manifestation. That's where you get back into your sense of power. It's magician energy, isn't it, to resolve the problem. And then you've got unconditional love. I can't remember if I mentioned self-care at all in this. I think I mentioned self-love at one point. And that is part of self-love, unconditional love, but it is also, it gives Empress energy, doesn't it? Who can you go to that loves you, if you have this option, because not everybody has this option? Who can you go to that loves you unconditionally for support? And obviously, if not someone that you know, then the professional services, if you know of any that can help. So I'm going to leave your reading there. I don't know why it was this long. I mean, it's fine as long as you get the message and you get as much as you need from the message. It's fine. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching the video. Take care. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading for the end of July going into the beginning of August. In front of us we've got two of the decks I'll be using for the readings today. We're going to start off with a message from the Beautiful Creatures deck, which I typically use as an oracle deck even though it is a tarot deck. So we'll start off with a message from that first for you. So what do we need to know for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising? Right, you've got two. You've got the Empress This is a really interesting Empress card. I have to say, I really like this deck. I don't use it very often. I do love it though. I love the artwork. I don't know if it's because it's just so big and bulky, like especially on readings for the channel, it just, if it slips, it's because it's so big and, how do I describe the card? Slippery. It's a big slippery deck, so I don't tend to use it on the channel very much. And to be honest, I don't use it in my everyday life as much either, but I actually really love it. I think I love it for the artwork more than anything else. Anyway, the Empress, creativity. And you also have the Knight of Cups, empathy. I mean, the Knight of Cups can be considered a creative energy as well, although because I'm using it as an oracle deck today, I do tend to take it, the meanings more literally to how they've defined it when I use it as an oracle deck, but we'll see what comes up with your tarot cards as well. So what else do we need to know for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising? I'm going to take that, the one that fell on my lap. Yeah, we have one that fell on my lap and it's the Nine of Cups and everything else just flew everywhere, so I'm not going to take those. But yeah, again, I'll say it for you, there's a full moon. I don't know if you'll see this video before the full moon. I'm trying to get I usually like to try and get them in before the full moon, but just life is life, isn't it? So I do the best I can with the time I've got, which sometimes it's not much. But yeah, full moon in Capricorn, Sunday the 21st of July, I think. I haven't said it to every sign, but you're one of the signs where it's standing out again in the card. And with the other signs it came up for, it was more of an intuitive feeling. But if you've sort of set intentions with the full moon, it might be significant here. Anyway, Nine of Cups. Let's get the cards back in the deck. Another one that's one of the ones that's sort of fallen on the floor is the Seven of Wands. I'm not going to keep it, I'll put it back, but I'm just showing it to you. It might be a sort of sense of determination actually, because the Nine of Cups is one of the wish cards, isn't it? Or can be considered a wish card. I mean, this one is literally a wish card. You've got a genie in there who looks like he's just taken some sort of illegal substance, to be honest. Yeah. But anyway, either that or he's had a drink. Let's see what else comes up for you. Right, we have, yeah, I will take it. We've got the Death card, so your card. Oh, okay, interesting. We've got the World and, yeah, reversed. I was mentally asking myself, is it meant to be reversed? And I was getting reverse, reverse, reverse. So take that one. And what else? Okay, why are they falling on my lap for your reading score? Oh, okay. Yeah, you might have a strong, you might be in a strong manifesting mode at present where things just seem to fall into your lap, because why are all your cards literally falling on my lap upright? So we've got this one fell on my lap upright, and then the Devil fell on the floor. So we'll put the Devil there because that sort of seemed to fall at first, and then this was on my lap as well. Okay. Let's get clarified. So let's look at that Nine of Cups first. What do we need to know about that for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising? I did say you might have a strong manifesting energy around you at present, or you might be in a strong manifesting mode. You've got the Magician, so yeah. On the bottom of the deck, I'll show you this Page of Pentacles. I did get the vibe. I mean, creativity anyway. The Empress, she gives birth to new things, doesn't she? Or a new being. You've got the Death card and the World, so it's like a new start, isn't it? But it's like it's in progress here, because you've got the Death card and the World hasn't quite, it's not upright yet. So it's like the transformation what am I even saying? Process. The transformation process to have something new come into fruition, and that is like where you plant a new seed. As you may tell, I'm not 100% well today. I've got a bit of a cold. I mean, it's not bad enough to affect me doing the tarot, but yeah, I am a little bit tired to be honest, but I do feel well enough to read, otherwise I wouldn't. If I felt really, really bad and I was fully aware that I felt really bad, I wouldn't do it. So, wow. Look at that, Ace of Wands. Even that feels like manifesting energy, like a spark, a spark of creation. Anything else? For someone, it's a new start. Could be the start of a new creative project. I'm getting the thought as well that someone could be writing a book or something. That's something that's coming to mind here as well. I don't know why that came in. That was just like an intuitive thing. Anything else? Oh, wow. Why are they just flying everywhere? There's too many there. I can't take all of that. That's too many. I'm going to try that again. I think a key point with this as well is to focus on your wishes and your dreams, whatever they are. Focus your energy on that, because I think you have a strong ability to bring it all in. Right, we've got the Six of Cups. What else? Five of Cups, and I will get one more. That could connect to that Death card actually, because clearly there's something, some sort of transformation involved. So obviously something's kind of ended, like whether it's a cycle that's ended or whatever, and you're going into a new one. Is it reversed? Okay, yes, it's reversed. I'm not sure why yet, but we'll see. Okay, so what's coming in with these cards, Scorpio? There's something here about no regrets that's coming to mind with the Six of Cups and the Five of Cups. There's something about no regrets, so if it resonates, you'll know what that means. Also, there's something about not being able to go back. So I don't know if it means not being able to go backwards, or if you've had to let something go or move on from something and there's just no going back now, all you can do is move forward. There's something also here about the old ways, like whether it's the old ways of doing things or something, like there's no going back to that now. You have to focus on moving forward and focus on the new, whether it is literally new dreams, a new project, whatever. But there's something, as I say, no going back. It's all about going forward and focusing the energy on what you want to create now and going forward. Let's look at the Death card for you. You got the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck, so that's letting go of any burdens if there's any. So Death card. We've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Ten of Cups. Okay, I think I know what this means, but let's see what else comes out. Your cards are very chaotic. I don't know if you've got a kind of really enthusiastic, kind of restless, excited energy about you, because your cards are just like, it's just chaos. I will take these, but oh no, actually I can't take the ones down there, there's too many. But we've got the Wheel of Fortune, then there's some face down on the floor, but that's just a lot. So yeah, I'm not going to take that, that's too much. What else do we need to know for the Death card? So I feel like it's you coming out of a comfort zone with that Nine of Pentacles being in reverse, and that's probably what you're letting go of, whatever your comfort zone was before. You'll know what that means to you if it resonates. It's coming out of that to go towards I feel like saying a different kind of happiness, or a new happiness, or something, a new thing that will make you happy or add to your happiness. Anything else? It could be for someone that they, just bear with me one moment. It could be for someone that they've done things, or a particular thing, on their own, and now it's the time to do something that will be that will create shared happiness is what comes to mind. So that could be any number of things. As, again, if it resonates, you'll know what that means. So we've got the Page of Swords in reverse. What else do we have? The Knight of Cups in reverse. And the two, I don't know why I felt the need to get more. We'll take that because it was face up. The Two of Cups in reverse. Again, it's giving the energy of not being able to go back with the Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Two of Cups. And again, so whether it is going back to working with specific people or to having specific people in your life or close interactions with certain people, it might be that you've had to let that go. It might be that you've had to let go of a previous dream for a new one. The Page of Swords can be connected to new truths. With it being in reverse, for me, it's like acknowledging the old truths or truth, whatever that was. And again, transforming out of that. But it looks like some sort of shared... It could be that there's one particular thing that you want to go for that you think will make you very happy, or it's that it's shared. Whatever you go forward in now, there's a shared sense of happiness with it, like a shared project, or... if you partnering up with someone romantically or something, it can be that. But it's transforming out of the old ways to go forward. It could be transforming out of old circumstances as well. So let's look at the World in reverse. I mean, that pretty much just tells me that something is a work in progress. And I want to say with the creativity that you could be, it's like if it's not writing a new story, it's literally creating a new story in your life. You've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. So to me, again, that's just that it's a work in progress. That sense of satisfaction, getting your wish, it's a work in progress with it being in reverse. You've got the Queen of Wands. So again, it connects to that manifestation energy, and then you've got the Ace of Pentacles next to it, which you've got it twice there. So again, it really is a strong manifestation type energy of whatever it is that you want, that you desire, you're really going for it. Chariot, still a work in progress. So there might be... It might be that you need more information or resources, or there's something that's needed to help. I mean, you are doing the work yourself by the looks of it with the manifestation energy, but when the Chariot's in reverse like that, it can look like a delay, but it can be that that something's needed that isn't there yet. That's why, you know, like I think I've given the example before of like if you're getting in a car, you're ready to go off and drive, but like say the petrol tank's empty, you can't go. It's like you need to get the petrol before you can get the car moving, or the tire's flat, you got to put the tire up, you know, something like that. So you're ready to go, you've got your plans, you want to go for it, but so it feels like something might be missing. Let's get one more after that, or something else is needed. I will take these. So we've got the Seven of Cups. See, this that to me shows that there's something that hasn't quite been, I can't even think of the right word. I can say figured out, but that doesn't even feel like the right word, to be honest. It might be how you go about something, or you might have different options and ways of doing something, but something hasn't quite been figured out. The inspiration and the desire's there, but you haven't quite done it yet. And then you've got the Lovers, which, as I said, you've got the desire for it, and the Hermit. So to me, that does indicate there's something else that needs to be... It's partly that something else needs to be figured out, but it can be that what you're going for, it's going to be a long journey. It's not going to be something quick that you just do it quickly and then you achieve it and that's it. It's something that could take months, years even. It's giving that sort of energy. And there might be something here as well. If there's something that's needed that you haven't figured out yet, it might be that you need to figure it out for yourself with the Hermit too. Let's look at the Devil. That could potentially be the bit of the roadblock, like where that Chariot energy comes in. But let's see what clarifies that. This really is a very creepy Devil card. I mean, the Devil card in general is, you know, it is an odd card. But this one's really creepy. Don't know if you can see clearly what is going on in there. Overindulgence it looks like in there, but let's see what it says when I clarify it. So we have the Hierophant, we have the Four of Wands, Nine of Swords, okay. God, that's a lot. I'm going to take them. It is quite a lot though. So, God, which one's first now? Right, so the Ace of Swords. You've got the King of Wands and the Emperor. And you have the Devil. When the Hierophant came out with the Four of Wands, it felt like there was something to do with, and I know there was something to do with the structure that is causing a little bit of anxiety, and that might be part of that Chariot energy where you can't quite move yet because something else is needed or something's missing. But as I say, yeah, the Hierophant and the Four of Wands, it's structure of some sort. So I don't know if it refers to an organizational structure, something to that effect, is having an impact on things and it's worrying you a little bit. The Ace of Swords is, for me, is feeling like a bit of a problem-solving energy of needing to resolve that issue to move forward. And I feel like that King of Wands is definitely you, where you're like, okay, I'm ready to face it. I'm willing to face it, whatever the problem is or whatever the solution is. I'm willing to look at it and come up with the solution so that I can move forward. The Emperor, I feel like it's someone else, if I'm being honest. It could be you, and it could be just that you're extra determined, but it really feels like it could be someone else. I did say shared happiness, so it's like they've both got the same goal. However, the Emperor is kind of higher up in the ranks than the King of Wands, so I don't know if this is someone that could support you or back you in what you're doing, possibly. And it almost feels like they have a little bit more, if not a lot, authority than you in the situation somehow. Whether it's that they can give you advice, or again, if it's organizational structure in an organization, they may be the higher level boss, a higher level boss or whatever than you are. Let's just get one for that Devil card. And I know these readings that I'm doing for this couple of weeks are a bit longer. I think I did the air and earth ones already, and then I started to feel a bit of a cold coming on. I am well enough to read. I think I've said that already, that I feel well enough to read, but yeah, I am a bit slower. So I think that's why the readings are slower. Right, we've got the Page of Pentacles there. King of Swords for the Devil. Anything else? You've got the Ten of Swords. I almost feel like that Page of Pentacles is you approaching a King of Swords, like the King of Swords again is someone else. And possibly feeling like they'll shut it down. I don't know why. Let's get one more. Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's something risky about it. Like, say if you do have to approach someone who's like a higher level boss or something, or an organizational structure or whatever, it almost feels like you feel small compared to them. I know that's a weird, well, it's not weird, because I do say sometimes that with the pages it can, especially the Page of Pentacles more so actually, it feels like there's something where they feel like it's not, they don't have enough, or they haven't done enough, or something to that effect. And they're going to like an authority figure where they kind of feel like, maybe they feel like they'll be judged, or they won't be accepted for something, or their idea will be shut down. It's giving that kind of energy. It feels risky. Okay. So if it resonates, if the reading resonates, or this part resonates, you'll know what that means. You will know what that means. But yeah, as I say, it's like you're ready to go, but there's just something that's needed, and it could very well involve another person or organization. So let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's meant to be up. I think it fell sideways, so I always ask myself mentally, is it? We have, I think you can hear my child in the other room. I usually don't record when he's home, but he is today. Right, we've got the Justice card, King of Pentacles. We have the Moon. And we'll get one more. See, the Moon is there again, so that full moon might be really relevant. And then the Three of Cups. Yeah, I think for me, the Ace of Pentacles in this reading, again, it's just that, it's just a really strong energy that you'll kind of do whatever it takes to get whatever this is. You'll do it. You'll be resilient, you'll persevere, you want to get it right. So if there's work of any kind involved, again referring to that creativity, you want to do a good job and get it right. And then of course with the King of Pentacles, I mean, yes, he's someone that builds and he can do anything he puts his mind to probably, but also I think you would really consider him to have a strong sense of integrity. Like anything he does, he's going to do it to the best, highest quality. Like he has high standards. That's how I would view the King of Pentacles. Like if he's going to build a house, he would want everything to be perfect. No substandard cowboy builders, you know what I mean? Everything perfect. Like he'd be a nightmare to do a renovation with, because any little mistake and he'd be like, take it apart and do it again. So yeah, he'd be willing to face the unknown as well. And there's a need to get the right support in this too, with the Three of Cups there. I'm looking at that Knight of Cups, the empathy card, and why is that there? Why is it there? Let me get one just for that Knight of Cups, because I have one thought on that, but okay, they're flown everywhere. You know what I think it is, right? So the half the deck, what's remaining of the deck, well, actually more than half the remainder of the deck has fallen on the floor. But we have in my hands, what's remained in my hands is that. So we've got the Knight of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. So again, going back to that thing where I got the vibe that you feel like somebody's going to shut you down, or it's not enough or something, and you're having to approach someone in authority. It's giving me the thought that, you know, like say if you were going to write a book, like a fiction novel, and you thinking to yourself, oh, I really love this idea, I'm happy with what I wrote, but whoever I go to what do you call it, to get it published or whatever, they're probably not going to think it's good enough, or they're going to think, well, probably not even good enough, but they're probably going to think it's crazy or whatever. And realistically, they probably will actually support you. So I feel like that goes with the empathy card. It's that you want empathy from them. You want them to understand you and where you're coming from. So whatever creative plan or idea you've got, you want someone to understand where you're coming from, and you want your viewers, listeners, readers, whatever it is, to empathize with whatever you're putting out there as well, if that part resonates for you within the reading. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Let's get you a final card of advice. What else do we need to know for this reading? Is there any advice here? I think there's a need to trust that someone out there will understand where you're coming from. Again, going back to that whole thing of a creative project, whatever it is, it may be that you have to go to many different people or places to get someone that can understand and appreciate what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. You know, the first place you go isn't always the one that will accept what you've got and want to support you with it. It might be that you have to try different people, different places, etc., to get the right support, because that came here, didn't it? You need to get the right support to do this. Anything else? You may currently be working, part of the problem may be that you're currently doing this with people or an organization that doesn't quite get you the way you wish they would. That could be part of the problem. And it's a case of coming up with solutions for that. So getting the right backing. Right, what's the final advice for Scorpio? This one keeps on coming up. I'll get you another one, Divine Consciousness. So that is a card of, it's like connecting to higher power, connecting to your intuition, that sort of thing. Anything else? I would say one way that comes up is in terms of getting the right backing and supporting what you're doing. Trust your gut with who you feel. Like, again, if you were going to publish a book or something and you tried 5 different publishers or whatever, trust your gut and pay attention to who seems to really understand you, who's actually going to back you and who you are and what you do, and who's just going to edit the crap out of your work to get what they want, to match their agenda. Anything else for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising? Right, this sound card keeps coming up as well. Right, you've got affirmations. And you have sound as well. Again, with the empathy card, pay attention, be an active. For me, I know this isn't the exact meaning of the card, but be an active listener when you're sharing your idea and your plan with someone else, or organization or whatever. Pay attention to the response and be a sort of active listener and get a feel for how they are rating what you're doing. Like if it really is, if they are going to provide the backing that you need. Affirmations, I would say, it's just positive self-talk, isn't it, really? And I think it looks like from the cards that have come out, you're already doing that. I've already said about 50 times that you're in strong manifestation mode. So it's a case of consistency with that, keeping it up, persevering, you know, constantly telling yourself that you're doing well. If you need to improve, you know, look at that, and just telling yourself that you can do it, you can achieve it. So that sounded a bit like a motivational speech, but anyway, so that's the end of the reading. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching the video. I hope there was something helpful in there for you, and take care. Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading for the end of July going into the beginning of August. In front of us we've got 2 of the decks I'll be using for today's reading. We're going to start off with a message from the Beautiful Creatures deck first of all. It is a tarot deck, but I tend to use it as an oracle deck, so that's how I'm going to use it today. So we'll start off with that first of all. So what do we need to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising for the end of July going into August, please? Do I want to take that? I'm not going to take it because it just felt off the way it came out, but it is the Judgment card, which they define as opportunity. So let's try that again. Okay, you've got 2. We have Interesting. We've got the Ten of Pentacles legacy and the Nine of Pentacles rewards, which both kind of feel like opportunity to me, so it probably wouldn't have made any difference if I'd kept the opportunity card. That was just my phone buzzing. Okay. So what goes first? I'll put it in numerical order, although I picked up the Ten of Pentacles first, but we'll keep it in order. And let's get your tarot cards out as well. So what else do we need to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising? Apologies for the noise. I usually don't record when my child is at home, but I've had a packed week and yeah, I'm trying my best. So this is when I knew I'd have the free time to do to continue the readings, because I already did a bunch. And yeah, if I didn't continue now, then I wouldn't be able to do it for about another 3 days. So right, so we've got the Two of Pentacles first of all, and I think it's meant to be in reverse. Anything else? Ace of Cups and okay, up. Okay, it kind of fell in a weird sideways position, but it's meant to be up. It's kind of giving the feeling that if you've been quite busy or trying to get something sorted out or doing a lot, it feels like this may be a time where you can sort of have a bit of a break and I guess reap the rewards is one way of putting it, but sort of look at the fruits of your labor, you know, take a bit of a break and look at the fruits of your labor. Let's see what else comes up. We've got the Queen of Wands. It's almost the energy of you've done enough for now. Let's see what else comes after her. So we've got the Lovers. And we have the Three of Cups. Okay. Let's get the clarifiers out for you and see what comes up here. The word attract has come to mind quite strongly. So, you know, it would be that kind of thing, you know, like where they say in manifestation that you do as much as you can to make it happen. And then you just have to kind of, once you've done all that you can, you sort of sit back and whatever's attracted to the energy that you've put out comes back in. That's the type of energy it's giving me. But let's see if we can get more details. So the Two of Pentacles in reverse, why is that there? So we have we've got the Five of Cups, Ten of Cups in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse as well. Let's see what comes out on the other side of that. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, that's quite interesting. I like that. We've got the Four of Cups, Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles. That's good. So it kind of looks like it is pretty much what I said. If you've tried really hard to make something work, or you've been putting a lot of effort into it and it hasn't worked out the way you wanted with these energies here. I mean, the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups is kind of like where you've put the effort in, but it hasn't quite come to fruition. The Five of Cups it is a card of disappointment, isn't it, to be honest? And the Four of Cups it can be complacency, but that can also be disappointment as well. It's kind of like moving away from that energy now. Six of Swords going to calmer waters where things start to come together. So again, if you've been putting your effort into something, and it hadn't worked out previously, it's like now is a time where you've done everything you can and it will come together. So let's look at the Ace of Cups. I feel like that's one way of interpreting the Ace of Cups, is that you've poured your everything into something. Yeah, you've poured your everything into something. And bear in mind as well, so another way of looking at this is, like when you've worked on yourself, like when you can say that you've worked on yourself, whether that means in terms of education or education, I can't even talk, education or personal growth, those kind of things. And then you get to a point where you like either recognized or something good happens as a result of the work you've done on yourself. Yeah, it's like you've poured into yourself, and you've poured into what it is you want to achieve, and it's just a time now where you can sort of sit back and allow things to come to you. So say if it was relationship related, and I'm looking at these cards, so that is a possibility here. You've kissed all the frogs, you've learned all the lessons, and you sort of feel like you have a handle now. You know what you want in a person, in a relationship. You've made yourself visible to opportunities to pull a relationship, and then it's just a case of sitting back now and then waiting for the offers to come in, or allowing, I won't say waiting, I'll say allowing the offers to come in and having the pick of the bunch kind of thing. Or if it's not the pick of the bunch, then the right person comes in now because of all the work you've done to get to this point. So let's look at the Ace of Cups properly. And with the Ten of Pentacles, because it's got legacy here, but overall, what is legacy? It's something long term, so it's a longer term reward. So whatever you've been working on, it's not just a quick like, oh, I've done this and now I get a quick prize, like like if you want a holiday or something like that, or you want a summer money. It's something more, it feels like it might be something more tangible, or I don't know how else to say it, to be honest. Just something long term. So again, going back to the relationship example, if you've been through all sorts and you finally feel like you're in a place where you know yourself more, and you know what you want more, and you've got stronger boundaries, and you're vulnerable enough but not too vulnerable, you've got the right balance of everything. The person that you'd pull in now would be someone that you could have a stable, like a marriage with or something, as opposed to where like where you start a relationship and it all seems amazing for the first couple of weeks, the honeymoon period, and then it's like, oh shit, okay, it's the same old same shit, different day. It's not that. It feels like the next one to come in, if this is what was going to happen, is going to be someone that actually, this is like something solid. It doesn't mean it's perfect, yeah, there are challenges, but this is actually solid. So yeah, I've babbled enough. Let's get into the Ace of Cups. And as I say, take it as it resonates. If it's not a relationship situation, it can be, apply as it feels relevant to you. So you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, as I say, it's like, because you've poured into yourself and you've poured into the situation everything that you needed to, things change. Let's see what else comes up. You've got the Six of Pentacles there. That is a card of receiving. Well, it's giving and receiving, but receiving is included in that. You've got the Four of Swords. That's the card where it's taking a break, isn't it? So again, it's where you get to sit back and watch the fruits of your labor, whether they're already in front of you or you waited for them to show up. And then we get the Three of Wands, where you're waiting for your ships to come in, isn't it? You've got the Hanged Man. It's a card of surrender. So you've done everything you can do, and it's now just receive, surrender. So let's look at the Queen of Wands. The thing that came up with her when she came... Okay, bear with me one moment because my child is making a lot of noise. I've got to go and tell him to calm down. Okay, so yeah, the Queen of Wands, he's still doing it. I've told him and he's still doing it. She is someone that attracts, isn't she? She has a strong, attractive energy, not just like physically, like her appearance, but her energy is one of attraction, like attracting what she desires. So That's what came up for her. Let's see what else comes up with the card. Oh God, there's too many coming out. That's a lot. Try that again. What else do we need to know for the Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands? Try that again. We had a flip, but it was actually half the deck flipped. So yeah, that doesn't work for me. You've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What else? What else do we need to see for this? We've got the Magician in reverse. Anything else? Six of Cups in reverse. Why are they all in reverse? The deck is actually upright, so... Five of Pentacles in reverse. We'll get one more. I don't know why they're all in reverse, to be honest, but... Okay, yeah. So we have the Three of Swords, the Sun, and the Three of Cups. So first of all, the Ace of Pentacles and the Magician, for me, that is the work. In this reading, it's like they're a work in progress. The new opportunity is a work in progress, or the reward, or whatever you want to look at it as. That manifestation type energy, or energy of, as I say, where you've done everything you could. You've used all of the skills and abilities you've got and every resource you have to try and bring in what you want. Now it's a case of sort of not forcing anything, just sort of allowing it to come in. So that's those two. The Six of Cups with the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, for me, it's that energy of not going back to the past. Like the disappointments that you had in the past, it's like, no, you've done so much work, put in so much effort into what you've put effort into, whether it is yourself or something tangible, that there's no going back now to the old disappointments that you had before. Everything is a lot clearer. You're a lot clearer, as I said, on what you want and who you are. So that's what you'll attract. You'll attract something that feels right, it feels good, it feels genuinely supportive to you. Bear with me one moment, I've got to stop this noise. So one of the key points of this reading may be that you feel like, what more do I need to do, or what more can I do? But from the cards, it looks like you've done enough. So as I say, it's a case of allowing, receiving now, rather than trying to do more. There's a thing I've said previously about not by force. It's like you can't force things to happen. You do as much as you can, and then you just have to allow it. So let's look at the Lovers. Okay, I'm going to try that again. The cards are very chaotic today, to be honest. They're sort of flying all over the place for the readings I've been doing. Lovers, what do we need to know about the Lovers? Right, you've got Justice, Five of Swords, the Fool. You have the Queen of Swords, and you have the Page of Cups. So the first thing I'll say, with the Page of Cups on the end, it gives me a feeling of that receptive type energy. There's another word I'm thinking as well, and I did think it and it just flew out of my head. What is it? I'll say openness, but it's a different word to that, but it's a sense of openness. It's not optimism. I think openness is the closest thing I can think to it, where you're vulnerable, you kind of put your wishes and hopes and dreams out there, but you don't have your heart set on it, you know. So like you sort of go in with the flow type energy, but there's an openness about that. Justice card, again, it's that attracting something that you deserve. It is something that you deserve. None of this type of, what do we even want to call it? Well, it can be a sabotaging energy, but just difficult energies, where situations just don't turn out well. It's moving past all of that into a new phase now. It's like, as I say, it's like if you've personally been working on yourself, you've gained that sort of wisdom and knowledge to move forward. Or even if you've been learning, like literally learning, in terms of courses, education, it's like you've learned enough now. You've I mean, I know that they would say that the king is the master. They would normally say that the king is the one that masters whatever suit he is. So if it's the swords, he's mastered knowledge or whatever. The king of cups has mastered emotions, but she feels like she's mastered something from the stories that she's experienced. She's mastered something. She's mastered enough to move forward and to get what it is that she's wanting. So let's look at that Three of Cups. I said that was where it felt like you now get something genuinely supportive. Excuse me. I think, as you can hear, I've got a bit of a cold if I haven't said it already. I am well enough to do the readings, but it's just making me a little bit slower and a lot more congested. So I'm doing my best. Right, Three of Cups. We've got the Hermit. I feel like saying you're not on your own anymore. Or it doesn't feel like an endless journey anymore, like the never-ending story. Never-ending journey, never-ending story. It's not that anymore now. Anything else? We've got the Four of Wands, which is, well, first of all, it's acknowledging how far you've come with the Four of Wands. But it's also the ability now to build, to have like a solid foundation. I mean, I would say that you've even got a solid foundation yourself, but in terms of what you're doing as well, external to yourself, you're able to have a solid foundation with that as well. So we have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Ten of Pentacles. So that Seven of Wands, again, that's an energy of allowing it in. Yeah, it's an energy of allowing it in. There's no need for any defensiveness. There's no need to struggle. Just allow it in. Seven of Pentacles. It is a card of assessment. It can be a card of reaping. Is it reaping what you sow? I don't really use that term that often when it comes to the Seven of Pentacles, but I know that is one of the meanings of it. Again, it's giving me the energy of you've done enough. You've done everything that you needed to do. Allow it in. And then you've got the Ten of Pentacles at the end. So maybe you do need to be a bit more open in terms of allowing it in and not feeling as much like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. It's just like, no, you've done. I mean, even if you need to assess and go over for yourself what you've done and sort of think it over, think, what have I done? And then if there are any gaps, then you can look at that where you feel like there's anything. But for the most part, it looks like you've done enough already, and you need to acknowledge that for yourself. The Ace of Cups, again, that's the energy of pouring into yourself and into the situation, dreams, whatever it is, hopes that you have. And it's enough. I feel like there's a strong element of self-love and self-care in here as well with the Ace of Cups. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm getting from that. We'll get you a final card of advice. So from the Sacred Power deck, what do we need to know for Pisces? What do we need to know for Pisces? Any final advice for Pisces? It doesn't want to come out. You have two. Why does this keep coming? Every reading that I've done, I swear I feel like that divine consciousness comes out. So you've got that. You've got lightning. Lightning gives me tower vibes. I know divine consciousness is connected to, like, it can be like angels, divine guidance. It can be to do with prayer. It can be to do with intuition. So I would say that you've allowed that to guide you already. And it's a case of allowing that to continue to guide you. I'll check the book for the lightning card, although as I say, I feel like it's tower type energy. It can be where things change quickly as well, which is what kind of is tower energy. I feel like if you need one more, you have energy balance. I kind of feel like you have probably got your energy into balance. However, again, if there's that energy where you're feeling like, oh, I've got to do more, what else do I need to do? It's again allowing yourself to receive. You can't, there has to be a balance between give and take about how much effort you put in, and then when you receive, you can't do too much of both. Otherwise it's not going to work. It's got to be an equal balance. Let's look at the lightning card quickly. Yeah, it says sudden changes and challenges ahead, be cautious. So, and it speaks of Isis. It's one of the things it says here is Isis opens, that's, I would assume that's Isis. Isis opens your heart to receive true love and healing through empowerment and movement. So it is a card of like surrendering and letting go of anything outdated, and you know, they say if it, things that no longer serve you. It speaks of breakthrough, so this is the breakthrough. I feel that this is the breakthrough. Okay. It does speak of needing to take action and pushing forward with passion as well. So for the most part, this reading to me felt like you'd already done that. It felt like you'd already poured into the situation, and it was a time to allow things to come in. And I still stand by that. That's it. For the most part, that's what it feels like. If there is anyone, even if it's just one person where you haven't you've been hesitant in doing what you need to do, then this reading would be the encouragement to do the work, do as much as you need to do, and then allow the rewards or the results to come in for you. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for you, Pisces. Hopefully there was something helpful in there for you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel as always. Thank you for watching the reading, and take care.